coming out here after 30 years, yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. Appreciate the love. Boom, 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 boom. Appreciate the support. You know what it is, 33 years of prison stories, man. We out here, we rolling. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support. Appreciate everybody who went and checked out the No Jumper interview, went back and watched that No Jumper interview after seeing the Vlad interview. I appreciate everybody who watched the Vlad interview. Y'all stay tuned, man. We still rolling. We're going to try to get on every platform that we'll get and take and receive this positive energy we got over here with TBP Nation, man. So y'all keep on rocking with me. I'm going to keep on pushing it out. Man, today is a crazy video, you know, for real, because I think this will enlighten a lot of y'all about some things that goes on inside them walls as well. It's insane when I look back at it right now, you know, and this comes from talking to one of my soldiers that's still in the belly of the beast fighting for their liberation recently, which made me think about, you know, the topic about, you know, getting robbed in prison. And it happens. A lot of dudes get robbed in prison, you know what I'm saying? And what's even more crazy is a lot of dudes in prison get robbed by the COs. Yeah, they get robbed by the COs, man. It's crazy, and it's like a back against the wall situation, you know. But it's something that happens on a regular basis, and it just depends on what you're willing to do about it to even prevent it, you know. And what I mean by getting robbed by a CO is many ways they rob you in there, many ways. But if you are in the, you know, the money getting game, if you trying to hustle in prison, if you trying to get some money, you know, obviously, you know, if you trying to get some real money, you're gonna eventually have to go through a CO. You know, you're going to have to go through a CO. You may can get some in this way, that way, and the third. But if you want to get something in to really get some real money, you're going to have to go through a CO. And what happens with that is, once the CO acknowledges their power and acknowledges their position, then they will begin to advantage take you. You know, they will begin to advantage take you depending upon who it is. But a lot of them will, and a lot of them will test their fate, man. And it's a dangerous game. It's a very, very dangerous game, because when you taking from somebody that's in prison, you taking from a person who already don't have much and trying to get some, and they already are without their liberty. They have already been convicted. They have already been sentenced to time. So depending upon their situation and how much time they got, will often determine how far they willing to go to make sure you don't, you know, take their money. And you got these officers, man, they will get in these positions and they will see, you know, dollar signs, man, where I can do this, I can do that. And you got some of them in there that done play some super dangerous, vicious games, man, with people money, and have dudes willing to, you know, throw their whole life away, man, their whole possibility of getting out just to get some get back. You know, because that's how disrespected they feel when somebody take advantage of them like that, right? And what I mean by that is, you know, you got COs, they'll bring stuff in. If they bring it in, if you get one that's corrupt, they're going to bring something in for the right amount of money. They'll even go meet your people and pick it up, you know, and bring it in to you. But a lot of times, dudes will get their people on the street doing the transaction to pay them. So they paid already before the stuff even comes in. So they actually get the money before they even do anything, right? So you got some officers who will run all types of flim-flammery, skullduggery, and tomfoolery and larceny, man, that they'll come up with the same dope fiend larceny that the dope fiends have. They'll go pick up the package and get the package, and then act like they couldn't get it in, or act like it got tore off, or act like they lost it, or something happened, or they had to throw it out, they had to get rid of it. No, that's not part of the game. If any of that transpire, it's already understood that you got to replace it. But they will act like they can't replace it, or they act like, you know what I'm saying, it ain't no way that I can get that. But then you still got the money. So therein lies the problem. You know, that's the beef right there. And you got a lot of them that would do that. They would take your money and then do not deliver. So it puts you in a back against the wall situation like, well, what I'm going to do? Because what can I do? Can I go at the CO? Can I threaten him? He can get me locked up. There's no proof of what I did. You know what I'm saying? And then that's another problem. Because even if you try to prove it, the only way you can prove it is to say, oh, he did this, I did that, or I gave him some money. Then you tell it. You know what I'm saying? So you stuck this way, you stuck that way. It's a double-edged sword. You can't tell because you're gonna get a tag on your name. Okay, even though it's the police, you still tell it. You understand? So it's a vicious cycle, man. It's a vicious cycle, man, and there's a lot that goes on with that. So the hustle in prison, man, is vicious. It's vicious, man. To make that almighty dollar is vicious, and you put yourself at a lot of risk for a lot of larceny, a lot of flammery, man. And as time went on, when I started doing time, I started seeing it more and more often. You know what I'm saying? Because now these COs started to understand the position they in, the power that they have. It's like they calling the shots. You may got the money and you may be putting some extra money in their pocket, but they come to the realization is, well, I can do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna do nothing. What can he do? You know what I'm saying? So that's where the problem was coming in at. And I can remember, man, in the when them 2000s rolled in, man, it was man, I've been on compounds where it was an epidemic, man. It was an epidemic. You had some officers that was coming in there just for that. They coming in there to try to make the extra dollar, but they trying to, you know, skim off the top, or they would get a package. You would send them some money, they'd go pick up the package, and then they would take and go in the package. Dudes had a packages wrapped a certain way. When they give to the officer, it's already wrapped up. It's already been, you know, taped up the way it's supposed to be to get it in. It should not never be open. They get all of that straight with their people, so they know. So when they receive the package, if the package don't look like they know it's supposed to look, or it look like it's been tampered with, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? If it don't have in it what's supposed to be in it, that's a problem. So what do you do about that problem? You have to pull up on an officer, which is, you know, dangerous within itself, because another officer can see you talking to him with a certain type of aggression or a certain type of look on your face and ask what's going on, and then you got a whole big controversy. Also, he can say you pulling up on him about something totally different and get you locked up. You know, then, like I say, you back in the position to say, well, I didn't do that. Well, why is he saying you did that? What can you say? Anything that you say against him about what the actual facts is considered snitching. You see what I'm saying? So they know this, and once they get wind of that, they will advantage take you, man. And they had some dudes in there, man, that was, man, getting packages that belong to other people, getting the money, and then actually reselling the package, taking it to the other side of the yard and telling somebody that they know they got cash on hand. Boom, I can bring you in blah 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 if you got such. Boom, dude give him the money. Boom, he give him the package. But the package actually belonged to somebody on the other side of the yard who already paid for it. So what did he tell that dude? He tell that dude that, man, I was coming in, man, they had the dogs out there, man, I had to get rid of the junk, you know. Okay, then where my money at, man? The money gone, man. I spent the money on such, man. But you know, I'll do it again for you if you can get somebody. Either way, it's making the dude be out of money, out of, you know, he coming out of pocket. Even if he choose to say, all right, well, look, you go get this one, but I ain't gonna pay you. But still, that's a package gone. He done got paid twice. You see what I'm saying? All this is just game, man. Flammery, skullduggery, larceny. And you got dudes in there that's not playing about that money, and they willing to put that Bethlehem in the CO about their money. They are willing to do that, you know what I'm saying? And I've seen it happen. You know, when I was on Sussex 2, you had this dude, man, he was running around the CO, man, he getting money from this guy, he getting money from this guy, he bringing packages in, packages there. So then he get the money, he's getting all this money, so he get big-headed and he get greedy. So now he started, you know, skimming in packages, taking some out to resell to this person, and the word got out. So, man, the next thing you know, you got dudes, is 2 and 3 dudes on the compound trying to, put that Bethlehem in them, pulling up on them strong, like, man, you better get that. I don't care nothing about you being a CO or nothing, man. You better bring my money. You don't bring my money in to work tomorrow, and stuff like that. And then the dude can, like I say, he still can cross you. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, you can't tell. And he knows you can't tell. So then he played the odds of the 50, like, well, he ain't gonna really do nothing to me for real. He ain't trying to go to court. He ain't trying to get no more time. Nah, that ain't always the case. You got some dudes in there that just, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? They want that almighty dollar, and especially if they owe that almighty dollar. And I can remember one dude, man, he kept telling the dude to bring his stuff. Dude ain't want to bring it, man. Next thing you know, he come up in that block a couple of days later, man, and dude got behind him with that Bethlehem. He was running like he was Usain Bolt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he couldn't catch him, and he had God on his side, man. I'm telling you, he slipped up and fell one time and everything, and got up and was scrambling. And he was getting, and dude was trying to get him. Now, dude ended up getting shot. Bow! They shooting him because they see he's chasing the officer with a knife, but they don't know the background. They don't know what's going on. You see what I'm saying? All they know is you trying to hurt an officer, but they don't realize this man done robbed you. He done took your money under false pretenses. You see what I'm saying? So dude ended up getting locked up, but he stayed solid. He didn't tell because he knew that wasn't his thing. And he let it be known, if I get out again, he letting him know, I'm going to get you. You know what I'm saying? But what do a dude do? What do the officer do? He got the power. So what he do is he said, I don't want him back on the compound no more. I feel threatened by him. You know what I'm saying? Or I had words with him, and then next thing you know, he pull out a knife. He try to stab him. He not telling the truth. So they going to take his word regardless. So now you gone up off of that institution. You know what I'm saying? You gone. And he's still running the same flim-flam all over the compound. You understand? So it's a dirty game, man. It's a dirty game that they playing, man. And then you got females who do the same thing. They play the same game. They will get that money and bring you this in and bring you that in. They'll do it 2 or 3 times. And then next thing you know, the package coming up short. Next thing you know, the package getting missing. Next thing, all of these type of games is being played in there, man. So they are actually robbing you with their position that they have as being an officer. And they know it's money involved. They know it's money. They making more money bringing in the package than they making on their check. You know what I'm saying? And if you dealing with an individual that got greed in their heart and then just see dollar signs, then and no morals and no principles, then they always going to go for the money. You making this much a week, and then you can make this in a day. You know what I'm saying? You making this much a month, and you can make this in a day. So they looking at it from that point of view, and then the money gets to piling up, the money gets so big, and then they just lose their way, man, and then they ride it out until they get caught. If they get caught, or either they just quit. I've known officers that take that money, and then when they start hearing whispering about their name, out there where they might be under investigation, or they think it done got to the wrong ears in administration, that officer such and such be bringing in this, so they know they being watched, and next thing you know, they're just up and just resign, and they're gone. But they done made thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars, and then they just might go to another institution to get another job somewhere else, and they ain't got no black mark on their record, and run the same game over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Until somebody catch them and put that Bethlehem in them and make them understand that you're not gonna keep on taking this money from us up in this penitentiary. But like I said, you're going to have the heart to do that. Because make no mistake about it, you're going to pay a tremendous price for it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to pay a tremendous price for it. And it depends on how much time you got and how bad you willing to go home versus you just taking the loss, taking the L. And some dudes is not going to take a L. Some dudes ain't going to take a L if they got 5 years left. Some dudes ain't going to take a L if they got a year left. Because they're going to feel so disrespected and so, angry about the fact that, you played me. You know what I'm saying? And in prison, that is the ultimate disrespect. That is the ultimate disrespect, for to let somebody take something from you, be it as an officer or be it as a convict or inmate or whoever it is. That is a no-no. You know what I'm saying? And even if the inmates or the convicts find out that you let the police take your money, then they gonna feel like they can take your money. First thing out of one of their mouth is, you ain't do nothing such. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the game goes in prison. It's a dangerous game, man, but it's a game that's played every day in every prison. You know, everybody trying to get to the almighty dollar, and everybody trying to cut corners. Everybody trying to run their lots, and they trying to run their game. And man, it gets dangerous, man. But the COs get away with more stuff than any convict can possibly get away with, because the price is so high to, you know, make them pay for what they're doing than it is opposed to making the dude right beside you pay for what he doing. So, you know, that's the game that's being ran in there, man, and it's being ran every day. I mean, even to the highest level, man. You done had, man, they done had captains in there bringing in drugs, man. And who he is above, you know what I'm saying, suspicion. Ain't nobody gonna even begin to think that. So he's gonna make all the money, and he can easily just beat you or rob you or take what you want. You know what I'm saying? Take what he want. And what you gonna do? You gonna say, oh man, the captain was bringing. Ain't nobody gonna believe that. First of all, now you got a snitch tag on your name, and you ain't got your money, and you going up off the compound, and he's still gonna keep on getting money. Yeah, this goes on in the penitentiary. Trust and believe that. Yeah, and they got many ways to rob you, man. If they know you getting money, right, and or they think you getting money, or they got good information that you getting money, and you ain't doing nothing with them, they'll come shake you down and go in your cell. You know, they find out, if they find some cash, they gonna pocket the cash. You know what I'm saying? They gonna put your back against the wall. I mean, you want me to turn this in, man, or you want the charge, or what? Or you just let me get it. You good. And they'll take the money and leave up out of your cell, but you out of the money. You might have grind up, you know, a good little bit. You know, a good little bit. I know one dude in particular, I know for a fact that he got shook down and he got caught with over 3 stacks. 3 stacks, $3,000+. You know how hard that is to grind up in the penitentiary and to have it in cash, not on your books, in cash. Man, that's a good little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's a good little bit. And old dirty CO, man, got wind of it, and they come shake them down and they get the money, man, and they want to keep the money instead of giving them the charge. And he had no choice, you know what I'm saying, because he didn't want to go to jail, because he's still getting money. But if he go to jail, then he got that, he gonna lose out either way. Either way, the money is gone. Once they come, the money is gone. You see what I'm saying? So he had to give up that. But he contemplated and contemplated and contemplated and had to battle within himself about, he wanted to put the Bethlehem in it because he felt like they played him, you know what I'm saying? And he also felt like that they can come back and do it again. You know what I'm saying? So he wanted to set that example, but, you know, reality set in, man. You know, you in a lose-lose. You can't win. You see what I'm saying? You can't win. They is extorting you in there. They robbing you in there. I mean, I was at Wallace Ridge, and they was, man, they even had the white dudes up there, man. And they realized that they can get over, and they getting over up there. They pulling every stunt you can think of, man. They come in your cell, and they take the pettiest things, man. You got dudes, stamps in prison is a currency. It's been currency since I went in there. It's still currency now. You know, because you could send stamps out on the street and send them to the post office, and you take them to the post office, and you could get the cash for them. So dudes used to keep books and rolls of stamps. That used to be their money. I mean, hundreds and thousands of stamps. Send them on the street, get the money transferred, put it on their books, or give it to their people on the street. So you have some officers, especially like the officers up Wallace Ridge, man, they go up in your cell, man, and they see all these stamps and everything. They just confiscate them and act like they ain't never seen them. They don't write it up. They don't put it on paper. They don't do nothing. They would just take it and pocket it. You know what I'm saying? Because they know it's money. Now, when I was up Wallace Ridge, you had a little crew that was doing all types of this type of flim-flam, man. Man, the freak books in there, you know, the pornography books, you know, dudes, that's a big commodity in prison, you know what I'm saying? 10, like I say, $10, $12 on the street. In prisons, it's hundreds of dollars, you know, $75 a book, $150 a book, depending on what book it is. So you can pay an officer a couple of $100 to bring you these $10, $12 books, because you're going to make the money back. But you had these officers up there, man, these hillbilly farmers, they even thinking that they can outthink you. Man, they will take the money, bring you the books in, give you the books, then tell their partner, which is another officer, that you have the books. He will come shake you down a week or two later, confiscate the books. You know, don't write it up. Don't give your charge. Confiscate them. Take those books and go on the other side of the yard and resell them to another inmate. And then keep on with the cycle. Wait a couple of weeks. It was crazy, man. They go in your cell and find stamps or find money, and they just pocket it and just keep it. You know what I'm saying? They just keep it. And I can remember when I was on there and Dirty was next door with his brother. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember who Dirty is? You know, shout out Top Dog. So I was on the other side trying to get over there where he was before I could get over there. I was still on this side. I was in the transition part from being back there from, you know, my cellie. So worst cellie I ever had too. But anyway, so I was over there. So I had been over there for a minute, so I peeped what's going on over there. They had some officers over there that was, you know, they was doing their thing. They was bringing stuff in, you know, dude in there had the phone, and you know, they had a good little operation going. How they talked them hillbillies into doing this type of stuff, I don't know, but they had them. You know, dudes was, you know, I seen the whole scene. Dude, one CO would not leave him with a phone, but he would bring a phone in every day on his shift and take the phone down and give him the phone and let him use the phone the whole shift. But when he got off, he would take the phone back. That way the dude would never get caught with the phone. So, you know, they got that type of thing going on. So, you know, he bringing them in tobacco. So he's selling tobacco all over the comp. He making money on top of money on top of money. You know, tobacco had become, you know, the biggest commodity in prison, even surpassing the drugs because more people use tobacco. So when they barred tobacco from the system, tobacco became, boom, you know, price ticket on that went up. So they bringing them tobacco, they doing this, doing that. But in the process of all this they doing and making all this money and giving these COs all this money, these COs are still getting greedy. They still getting greedy. So now when they go in and shake dude's cell down and they find the freak books or they find the stamps, they confiscate it, they steal it and bring it back to the dudes that's already giving them this money to bring in the tobacco, you know what I'm saying, just to make nice with them. Now, in my mind, I figured that the dudes were putting the battery in their back and telling them to do that because I didn't think that they was intelligent enough to be playing those type of games. So they probably was telling them, you know, because these were some gang dudes, they probably was telling them, yeah, man, if you shake the cells down and you find some books, man, you know, bring them books over here, man, or stamps or something like that, that's money. So now they done put them on missions and that's what they was doing. So with all that being said, I remember Dirty then was next door and, you know, Dirty always gonna get some money one way or another. And I remember he wrote me a letter over there, man. Wrote me a little kite over there and told me, man, that the CO that work in my block, them shook them down the couple of days ago, and he had hundreds of stamps missing that he know he had. Now he in the cell with his real brother. You know what I'm saying? So he know his brother ain't did it. Ain't nobody else got access in the cell. You see what I'm saying? They did it when they shook the cell down. They took them. Now what they did was took the stamps and probably gave them to, you know, they little gang buddies, right? So once I get wind of it and I'm reading the kite, I'm getting, you know, blood mad as I'm reading it because I know who they are and what little operation they got going on. So, you know, and you know, this my people, man, this family. So I'm like, man, oh no, you know, and I'm in a position where I ain't trying to get in no trouble. I'm trying to get from up here, from this, you know, racist, roots vibe compound. I wanted to get up off here, but man, that just infuriated me so much, man. When the doors open, man, I went beeline. I went straight to them, man, and they knew me. So I said, man, let me holler at you, man. You know, and it was two of them in the cell together. They was like, what's up? So I see his cellie looking off. I said, yeah, both of y'all. I'm trying to talk to both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, what's up, Bank? I said, man, let's go downstairs. So we go downstairs, we get in the corner, and I just lay it to him out flat. I said, listen here, man. I know what's going on, right? And they said, like, hold on, what you talking about? I said, listen to me. Just listen to me. Hear me out. I know what's going on. I said, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to leave it at that. The rest is up to you. I said, now, them COs that y'all be dealing with, they went over there next door, and they shook down my peoples, man, and they took something out of that cell. I think y'all know what it is. I'm just letting you know it got to be returned. it got to be returned, and it got to be returned in full, and it got to be returned ASAP. You know what I'm saying? Period. I ain't trying to hurt nothing. I don't want to talk about it or none of that. He said, well, what you talking about? I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But I said, I'm letting you know. I believe and know that you know. I know what you know what I'm talking about. Period. I said, man, and I ain't gonna pull up on no police. I said, but I'm gonna pull up on y'all because I know who quarterbacking this thing. I said, I'm telling you. He said, man, what you talk? What sale you talking about? I told him what sale it was. I said, yeah, that's my peoples. You know what I'm saying? That's my family. If that stuff don't be back by tomorrow, man, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting you know I'm not going to accept it under no circumstance. Keep doing what you're doing. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't trying to blow nothing up or nothing like that. But that ain't going to happen to them. You know what I'm saying? So they were like, my man, I'm going to see what you're talking about. But they didn't want to admit to it, but I knew they knew. I could read their body language and knew that they knew. And they knew I knew. You know what I'm saying? And needless to say, yeah, them stamps was returned. And said it was a mistake and woo, woo, woo. All, but I knew the count. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether they was just that scared or of me, because they definitely knew about me, or whether they didn't want their whole operation blowed up behind, you know, going to jail or going to the hospital, because that's where they was going. You know what I'm saying? Whether they didn't want that to happen, either way, it didn't matter to me as long as it got straight. You know what I'm saying? But those are the positions that you put in when you in prison and you ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? Because this stuff gonna come to you. This is what I'm telling you in prison. You ain't got to look for no drama. You ain't got to be poking your chest out or nothing. You just going to have to deal with it when it comes to you, because it's going to come to you in prison by one way or another, because it's just so much larceny in there. So much flammery and skullduggery and tomfool every day. See what I'm saying? Every day you got the police stealing from you. These the people supposed to be there. They're supposed to be watching out for your. They stealing from you and they reselling your stuff and they making money and profits off of what you doing, but they governing you for doing wrong and they doing more wrong than you do. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? This is real, actual facts. You know, this is what goes on in there, man. And I know it goes on every institution. You know what I'm saying? Every institution. If you even, like I say, then when you break it down to the females, you got dudes, you know, like I say, a woman is the number one commodity. That's what a dude want in a woman. So you got dudes that approach women all day. Now you got some of them they approaching theirs, and they'll go straight to the people on you. You going straight getting locked up, you know, soliciting sexual favors from an officer or some stuff like that. But you got some of them, they will entertain and you ain't got no money for real. If you got cash money, that's how you pull up on. I got some cash. I'm trying to, you know, do something strange for a little change. You know what I'm saying? It's real talk. And some of them going to tell on you going straight to jail. You understand me? And they going to come shake you down and try to find the cash and all this and all of that. You know, I've seen dudes approach women like that just talking, just to, you know, see what their reaction is. And 10 minutes later, the police bum rush their cell, whoop them, beat them down, and search his whole cell looking for the money, don't find no money. You know, so it's a big risk to even approach them like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a chance that you take. But then you got some of them that were entertaining and say, man, show me the money. You ain't got no money, woo. And then you show them the money. Then they'll say, boom, they'll take the money, right? They take the money, and then the next thing you know, they just act like nothing ever happened. And then you pulling up on them like, what's up? You gonna meet me up here? You gonna, nah, I ain't doing nothing. You better get out here before I, you know, write you up. You better get my money back. You ain't give me no money. And you can't prove it. You know what I'm saying? You can't prove it. What you gonna do? Jump on a female? You got some dudes in there that will. But they play the odds that you want. You know what I'm saying? And they take that cash. Now, this way it get even real tricky, because the administration gets so many rumors about that. They know something is going on. So if it's a female officer that they don't like and they think that's going on with them, they will even try to set them up. Yeah, they got them old hopping bobs and them Uncle Toms in there and them state struck dudes, and they'll pull up on them and they will tell the investigators, and they will give them some mark cash and tell them to approach the CO, the female CO, and give it to them. And then what they'll do is they'll wait for that female CO to go on her break or something. They'll pull her to the side and try to, you know, take her in the room with other females, strip her, search her, find the money. The money is marked. She fired, and then she getting the charge or whatever. What do the inmate or convict get out of that? Absolutely nothing. And they still do it. You know, because they think in their mind, because they bootlickers and Uncle Toms and Jeffro Bodines, that now all of a sudden that they cool with the administration. The administration gonna look out for them. Man, the first time you break in the rule, then you getting the charge and you going to jail. You ain't getting nothing for it. You done sold your soul. You done became a snitch. You done told on somebody. You done got somebody crossed up, and you ain't received no benefits from it. No benefits whatsoever. But it happens. You know what I'm saying? So that tells you something about the administration too. You know what I'm saying? They eat their young. They'll eat their own kind. And these people would do all this and sacrifice, putting their life on the line coming up in here, because when you come in there as an officer, you ain't got to leave that day. It depends on how it go down. If a riot or anything break out, or somebody, one of these dudes in here that's, you know, psychopathic, just snap out that day and you in front of them, you might not leave that day. But the administration would turn on them, but they will shoot you for going over the fence if you trying to escape and you ain't did nothing to them. Crazy world, man. This is a crazy world. This penitentiary stuff, I'm trying to tell y'all now, you don't want no parts of it, no way, no how, no sir. Yeah, all of this goes on, man. It's just like, you know, a smorgasbord of larceny and flammery, and, you know, it's just weed all day that you got to process. And then you can say to yourself, well, I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna stay out of the way of all this. I don't get involved in this. I don't get involved. Man, it's gonna come to you by way of something. Your cellie might be into it. Gonna bring it to your cell, or somebody you know, or, you know, it's just craziness in here, man. It's just foolishness and craziness. But these COs, they will rob you blind, you know, opposed to and if they can't get no money with you, and they know you getting money, then they gonna set you up anyway, you know, just because you can't. But I can count, man, thousands, man. I maybe hundreds of dudes that done got beat by COs out of some money. You know what I'm saying? And they done got away with it. And there's a few of them that didn't get away with it. You know what I'm saying? There's a few of them that didn't. A few of them that got punished. You know, but it's going to be at your expense. Either way you look at it, you're going to pay the price for it. And it's going to be bigger than what they pay. Yeah, it's just going to be lose-lose, man. And I said this and I say it again. I say it all the time, man. From the time you walk into prison, you lose. And you continue to lose until you get out. That's all you do in prison is lose. You are at the bottom of the totem pole in everything. Everything. Everyone is in a more power position than you if they're not locked up. If they work there, they're in a more power position than you. If they're on the street, they're in a more power position than you. Period. You're at the lowest form of your life while you are above ground. You know, and everybody takes advantage of those that they can take advantage of, and we just happen to be in that position. And man, I'm telling you, it's some vicious games being played in there with people that don't even hardly have anything, but yet they are still trying to take everything from you that you do got or that you can acquire. You know, just because they can. And I've seen some crazy things happen, man, with this type of dynamics here, man. I remember one dude, he just was pressing the police to bring his money. Pressing them. The police was standing fast, like, man, I'm doing this, I'm giving him all these excuses. But he was still not as seasoned as he should have been, where he could have just, you know, got rid of the dude or whatever. That's what he could have done. But he was trying to just thinking that he could stay there and just, the dude ain't gonna do nothing. Man, dude slapped fire from him in the middle of the park. Bow! I mean, the CO slapped fire from him. And he turned his head and he looked up to the booth and grabbed his radio and he thought about it. He was like, yeah, go ahead, call him. Call him, because you're going to bring my money. I'm telling you that now. So he got scared because he was thinking that the dude, the way he was talking so loud and saying about you, that the dude was going to tell if he called it cold. Man, he took that slap. He took that slap, and everybody in the block almost seen it. And the ones who didn't see it, once they heard that fire, they turned around and looked, and they could see the tension. And luckily, the person in the booth didn't see it. And he took that slap, man, and he bought that sack in. He bought that sack in because he see the dude was willing to just crash out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're gonna have to be willing to do. If you in that game, if you think that you're not going to get taken advantage of in there, you're going to have to be willing to crash out, because like I say, violence is the universal language. It's understood in every country, on every continent. You know, if you willing to do that, then people are going to take heed and listen to what you got to say. If you're not willing to do that, then they just going to keep on taking advantage of you as long as they can until you stop. You know, but yeah, it goes down in there, man. It goes down, and it's terrible, man. I got a lot of examples and little stories about this type of topic, man. But I'm gonna wind this one down. But y'all let me know if y'all want some more. You let me know in the comments, man. Talk to me, I talk back. And if y'all let me know in the comments, I got a personal story about this, you know, a personal story myself, personal experience. And let me know, man, and maybe I'll put it in a short or something and drop it if y'all want to hear it. But yeah, it's a crazy situation, man. But yeah, you actually get robbed in prison, man, more by the people that get paid to watch you and watch over you than you do by the actual person that's right beside you. You understand? Because their success rate is definitely going to be greater than his success rate of robbing you. So it goes down, man, on I'm quite sure every prison out there. But as I always say, man, you know, it's a blessing in every lesson, man. And the blessing is, man, you ain't you definitely ain't got to worry about getting robbed in prison. You definitely ain't got to worry about getting taken advantage by, you know, the COs in prison, or taken advantage by the convicts that surround you in prison if you just don't go. You just don't go. You need to hear these things and understand that this is reality. This is prison life, man. And once you're in prison, man, like I say, you I don't know what you perceive yourself as, and that's me included, but once you're in prison, you are definitely losing in life. You know, you are definitely losing in life, man. So in order to get back to the winning, you got to get out, and that's not guaranteed once you go in. So the only remedy to that is just don't go, man. Just don't go to prison. You know, don't put yourself in a position to go. Don't be around nobody that's trying to go, you know, by their actions. You know, and the blessing is, man, that, you know, you live and you learn. You know, you live and you learn. And I learned a lot of lessons in prison, man, that taught me my life philosophy right now. And you don't win in prison, man. The best you can hope for is to survive. Period. The best you can hope for is to survive, because you do not win, man, and keep that in mind. But anyway, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. I'll be back at y'all in 24 hours, more than likely, you know. So y'all be safe out there, be smart, make good decisions, man, and duck them hooks, man, because they everywhere, man. Boom, 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 boom. Even from the people who's supposed to have your best interests at heart. But only you are going to be able to take care of you. Bam!
The banking special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm going to have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.